Hello everybody, what's up? I'm here with Casey Steven. This is my first interview series on the road. We've chatted many times, but there's some questions I wanted to ask you about life, the universe, all that kind of stuff. First and foremost, I don't know if I ever told you this, but to me, you are the fighting game nomad. I think about you as like the Ryu of fighting games to me.
Damn, I love that. Oh shit.
You actually are. Like every day I wake up and you're in a new country, like a new location, a new place. All the places that you've been in the world, has there been a place that you've changed your perspective about it by going there? And or places that surprised you in ways that you just didn't expect to be gripped? Like you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to this country. I guess it's okay. And you showed up and it just had like a profound effect on you.
One of the first times I went to a place and like it affected me, like obviously everybody says Japan, right? I love Japan. You know I'm a big nerd. I'm a big I'm one of those guys. I want to see anime. I want to see the big stuff. But I will say the first time I went to the Philippines, it wasn't even just like the culture of like gaming. It was more about the people that live there.
Yeah.
Because like you know I'm a culture junkie. I love to see how people live outside of just the games. So when I went there and I played the games, first off, I felt like everybody and their grandma was playing Tekken. It was literally, I was playing Tekken for like 5 hours, and it was literally like dude's whole family. Like, hey, this is my little brother, he's 12, he's playing Tekken too, here's my mom, she plays Tekken. I'm like, damn. And I literally saw like how their community was not based around the arcade, or even like the online. It was just them coming out and like really just supporting each other. Another place that I went to, and this was a lot more recently, was Pakistan. We went to an event, and obviously Arslan Ash is like a really big guy. He's doing like everything for Tekken, and he's really putting on for like his country and the region. And there's a lot of other players that came out of there too.
Right.
But
he's like such a profound figure.
And this is what really let me know. So we go over there. Well, do you know they had this? It was like a Nissan car ad, and Arslan Ash was just like, hey man, look. I was like, what?
Saying stuff?
I was like, excuse me? And then it was like, yo, you need a new phone? And it was Arslan Ash again. I'm like, what's going on here, you know?
That was me the last time I was in Tokyo, seeing like Fudo on all the banners and stuff, and like seeing Crazy Raccoon Cup, and I was like, hey.
Especially in Japan, I would walk and you see like the Razer store, and you see all these players, and I'm like, I know those guys, and I know I got a few pictures in my phone of it. But yeah, Philippines, Pakistan, two places that like genuinely like changed my outlook on a lot of things, not just games, but like just life. You know?
No, I mean it's important when you travel. There's a difference between going somewhere and being somewhere.
Yes.
Right, where like if you just stop in, you show up, go to the venue, like airport, venue, hotel,
it's not a,
venue.
It's not a trip.
You just leave. Yeah. You have to poke your head around a bit and like kind of see what's actually going on. But then the other thing I was going to ask you is there like a place you haven't been yet? Because I feel like you've been everywhere. But is there like a bucket list place that you're just like, I haven't done this, I would love to do this?
So, I want to go to Greece. It's one of the places. I've never been to Hawaii. That's another place I've never been to. Is it Bahrain, I think it's called?
Bahrain?
Yeah. I want to go to Mykonos, obviously. I want to go to Brazil, because I haven't been to Brazil.
Oh, Brazil mentioned.
Yes. Brazil is on my bucket list, not even for video games. I just want to go just to like experience.
You've been to South America, right?
I've been to Colombia. I've been to Bogota, Colombia.
Okay.
But those are a couple of places I really want to go to. And once again, like I said, I want to go just to like experience like culture, the food, like how people get around, how people live, you know. And then I want to see like the fighting game side of it. And I'm sure like I could literally pull up a list on my phone. But those are a few of the places I really want to go to.
You just want to experience the place.
I want to experience it, man. And it's one of the things that's been gifted by the community. Going and seeing like how the community kind of like lives out there and like how they get around. I was in Bali and like I literally pulled up one time and I was just wearing like a random Soul Lecture shirt, just like a music thing, right? And this guy was like, man, you know, I love Soul Lecture. And like, I instantly was like, this guy's cool because that's a music thing that I'm like really into. And he was just like, yeah, we can't even get that stuff over here. And I told him, I was like, bro, if I ever come back, I'll buy it in the States and I'll bring it back to you. So like, I really love to see how it unfolds. I like to see how it unfolds because I know a lot of people don't have access to everything. I hope somebody do the same for me and they have. So, you know, you extend that. You can push it out there too, you know?
On that topic, I also call you the mayor of Earth. Because you're such a like sweet human in general. Like I tell people, like if someone doesn't like Steve, then I just assume bad things about them as a human. It's like it's such an easy barometer of like to tell how a person is by what they say about you. But like, how often do you travel or go places and then realize like your effect on people? How often do you have like the reflective moment of like, I am Casey Steve. Like I just do what I love, and people think like so highly of it, and they really like it, and like that's such a because it happens all the time for me where I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Like I'm just doing something. I
just like doing this. Like I just want our stuff to. And I was telling people. So I was in Romania, right?
Yeah.
And while I was in Romania, the middle of Yash, Romania, I was there for IESF, and I was like, man, I want to go to the mall and get some cool stuff, right? I literally called an Uber.
Yeah.
And I waited for the Uber. I'm down in the lobby. I go outside. I get in the car, right? And the guy who was driving, he legit hit me with like, and I was like, hey. And it was like, I've obviously never seen this guy before. And he was an older guy.
Yeah.
Obviously, he really didn't speak English, but he was like, can I take a picture? And I was like, all right, cool. Now, typically what happens is I go places like, oh man, there's a black guy. I've never seen a black guy. They want a picture. And I'm like, yo,
sure,
I'm cool with that. Right. I get it. And I was like, hey, like, do you know who I am? And he was like, you're Tasty Steve, make some noise. But he's literally from Peru. And he was in Romania. He's like, I've lived there for years. And I was like, what? He was like, make some noise. He's like, Tekken. And I was like, oh my God. And then it was a player. Oh my God, I'm so mad I can't remember his name. A Tekken player from Peru.
Was it one of the Mishima players?
Yes. Oh my God. It's so bad that I don't remember. And I'm really upset that I can't remember it. And literally when he came to me, he said, hey, I am such a big fan of your commentary. And I was like, and then I'm gonna tell you what else happened. So we went to Saudi Arabia and they had all these commentators from other places.
Yeah.
And literally what happens was I was the host of Gamers Day. I wasn't like doing commentary at all. So I was just a stage host.
Yeah, just up on the mic,
But the thing is they had us sitting with all the other commentators from the region. And what ended up happening was I'm talking to the commentators and they're like, hey man, like I'm a big fan. And like I hear that a lot. These guys, they're like, hey man, like we're commentators and we listen to you. And I was like, man, I really appreciate that. And when I was going back to the airport, this dude was talking to me. I remember listening to these guys commentate when I was backstage. And it was like something, obviously their language, and said blue stuff. And the thing is, the cadence in which he delivered that line, I was like, that sounds like something I would say, right? Yeah. And then like later on when I was riding to the airport, he was like, hey Steve, do you know there's like, I can give you 10 commentators here that base their Tekken commentary and some of their Street Fighter commentary off of you and what you've done. And you know me, man, I'm not one of those guys. I don't like to boast too much. And I really like to make what we do look cool. That's really why I'm here. But in those instances, it made me be like, damn.
In our jobs, you get it a lot. A lot of people are really like that. But then it's when it makes you stop and think like, huh? Like, isn't that absurd? Like, you're like, what? Like, the exact same thing. I hear people all the time, and you can hear the Tasty Steveism. It's like really cool to think, at least for me, to think that your commentary laid a foundation for someone else.
I don't even trip off of it like that. But once someone told me about it, I was like, oh, that's like a real thing. And like, there's been so many instances. I remember literally the first time I went to Japan, I dropped off my bags, I walked out the hotel, I hit a corner in a place I've never been before. I was in Shinjuku, and the dude heard me say something because I was talking to Rip, and he was like, dude, are you Tasty Steve? I'm like, how? How? And when I go to countries now, and I'm literally just there for a time, and I see people who recognize me. I've been recognized on planes, like on trains in Japan. I've been in London, just in the middle of nowhere. So it's like, when those instances hit, I tell this all the time, I'm just a gamer, bro. I want our stuff to look dope, and I want people to know they can come into the space and be chill. So I will always be cordial. I'm always going to be invited, and I always want to explain it. At any point in time, when somebody's like, hey man, you're Tasty Steve, it always makes me take a step back and be like, damn man, I really got love out here, and people support me. And the fact that they even know me lets me know that like, I'm moving in the right direction, and I'm putting on for the community. That's really what I want to do,
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing, that you just love doing this. You be doing it anyway.
Yes.
And like, it just happens to be your job, which is like really dope, and it's like the best thing on the planet. Like there's like nothing cooler than it, right?
Like my mom told me this. She was like, well, Steve, you actually have your dream job. Like I know this because I raised you. And I was like, yeah, that's true. Like this is what I wanted to do. I didn't know that I wanted to do it, and that's what's crazy to me, because like I didn't like to be like, I want to be a commentator. It was literally like we went to Super Arcade and it turned into this. I'm always appreciative of the space I am, and that's why I really want to make sure that other people, like, one, they appreciate this space, and two, that they know that they can come into this space and always be chill. You know what I'm saying? I really want that to be the case. So.
Yeah. Anytime you interact with someone, you always want it to be like, hey, you're just as much part of this as me, so like, let's just vibe, play some video games, have a good time.
If you come up and like be like, hey man, I will talk. Like,
bro, this guy, sometimes you're talking to someone for like 30 minutes, and I'm like, do you know that? Is that guy like from St. Louis or something? Are you guys cool? And he's like, nah, I just met him.
That's what happens. I never take this space for granted, and that's really why I operate the way that I do. I want people to be able to do exactly what I do. I want you to be able to walk up to somebody and be like, hey, what is this thing? What is this thing that you're doing? What are we here for? And that's how it's supposed to be,
For sure. All right, Steve. Thanks for chit-chatting with me.
Bro. Keep it going, man. One of the best out there, and one of my best friends. Please keep it. Make sure you continue to follow and support my boy, man. I'm one of these dude's biggest fans, if not the biggest, believe it or not. I know we got Sajam Dad out there. I know we got him out there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you guys supporting my boy, because he's my boy too, and I'm a fan of him as well, and I'm always appreciative.
Check this guy out. I'll post this stuff down below. Check it out. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Bye.
Peace.